When the unchanging mind assumes a particular shape, then the cognizing faculty becomes apparent. The unchanging mind assuming an apparent shape. This sounds mysterious, doesn't it? But this is what happens every time we dream. It's our one mind taking on many different shapes. It's what happens when we think of something. Our mind takes on a particular shape. It's what happens when we perceive something. The mind takes on a particular shape. And that shape doesn't have to be a particular form. It can be a mood. The mind takes on a particular mood. This is the opposite direction to the direction we usually want to go. As enlightenment practitioners, what we're doing is we're stepping away from the stream of our moods, from the stream of life, into this other dimension mentioned in Sutra 2. But, as I said in the previous video, there are times it has to go in the opposite direction. There are times we have to engage. This is life. Realization, though, is having the option. Enlightenment is having the option to return to the natural state of awareness. So it seems like a contradiction, doesn't it? The unchanging mind assuming a particular shape. But this is how awareness works. I am aware of this cup. In fact, my awareness becomes this cup. There isn't my awareness and the cup. There is simply the cup. I need to consider this cup or become aware of the cup when I'm making my cup of coffee. When I put the cup down and it's no longer an awareness, awareness can return to itself. This is the dynamic. This is the dynamic we need to fully get a handle on. Consensus reality is when the mind is coloured by the seer and the seen. So when the unchanging mind assumes a particular shape, well then we're in the world of objects. We're in the world of cognition. This is how we describe the world, isn't it? We describe the world as something out there, and within that world there are entities that perceive that world or perceive aspects of that world, and we regard ourselves as one of these entities. Again, it's worth considering the phenomenon of dreams. Who are you in your dreams? I've often had dreams where I don't appear at all in them. I'm not actually a participant in them. Are you your usual self in the dreams? Or is your gender different? Perhaps you might have different body parts. Or maybe even something different like a tail. But within dreams we create this world, don't we? We create this world which, within the dream, we believe we are perceiving. Once we allow our awareness to take the shape of a particular object, we're in the world of cognition. And again, this is the great stream of life, which, as enlightenment practitioners, we can step out of into another dimension. It's the dimension of awakening, the dimension of enlightenment. So within this consensus reality, you might not yet have realized this other dimension. You might have heard of it, but not realized it for yourself, in which case you're still looking for it. But if you have found the way out, then you have to keep heading for it. You have to keep heading for the exit, because that exit is very much like a revolving door. It's not a one-way trip. In some ways it is, because once you've found it, it should be easier to find it in the future. But once you've found it, you become an enlightenment practitioner. And if you're serious about this, some people might find it and then forget it, and that's it, or not quite understand the importance of it. But once you've found it, you keep coming back to it. And as Sutra 26 says later on, our centre of gravity moves towards it, moves towards Kaivalya, or liberation.